Welcome back. I'm Alexandria with Stay Dumb. So glad that you're here. I want to share this video because I'm giving a recap about my trip to Dallas that I recently took. So it's a little bit different than the content that I've recently put out, but nonetheless, I wanted to share with you guys some of the fun things that I did while on that trip. So I'm going to be overlapping videos as I talk, so you'll be able to check out all the things that I seen there. But before I left for Dallas, I actually did a talk with a mothers in business group. So I just got to give a recap over this past month, now it's July, so I would say in June, the last month. It has been really hectic. My life been a little bit hectic with work, clients, being a mom, doing this video content, the podcast, all of the things, right? So a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts, a lot of decisions that had to be made and that I am making or in the process of making. So booking my flight to Dallas was a self-care. I'm like, I'm not working. It's just me being. I just want to be. And that's what I was able to do. I was just able to just be and just, whatever happened, wherever I was going to go, wherever I ended up, I was okay with, because I didn't go down there with this whole itinerary. The only two things that I really wanted to do, I would say the only one thing that I wanted to do was go to the Potter's house. I really wanted to check out Bishop T.D. Jakes' church. I listened to him as well as Sarah Jakes Roberts. And so I was like, that's the one thing that I definitely want to do in Dallas, but I am open to wherever this car takes us, Uber, whatever, I don't care. I'm open to it. So I was able to check out the Potter's house, and I was very excited about that. The week of me leaving for Dallas, Sunday night, I had got an email asking me to speak to a mothers in business group. And so when I saw it, the woman who messaged me was like, hey, I really would love for you to talk to my group. It's going to be a limited group, but talk about self-care. Talk about the fact that, you're an esthetician and you've done photography work in the past. Maybe you can talk about, the importance of it. And so I'm looking at the email and I'm thinking to myself, do I want to commit to this? Because I'm looking at my week and it's pretty, filled with things. I got stuff to do. And so the little monsters in my head was like, you aren't qualified to do that. You aren't qualified to speak to this group about self-care. You're not worthy enough to be in front of anybody talking about this thing. And so those little monsters were going off, those little insecurity monsters that most of us have. But then the other voice said, put the rep in. You've been wanting to do more engagements. You've been wanting to do more speaking engagements. So just put the rep in. If anything, this is practice, and you don't know who you're going to connect with. You don't know what you will say that will resonate with someone there, or maybe even what they say to you that may resonate. So instead of listening to the insecure monsters, I decided to lean in and say, you know what, I'm going to commit to coming to your group on Thursday. So I'm really happy that I was able to do that. And it really brought some awareness to my own self, because here I am talking about the importance of self-care, but this other side of me has been completely overwhelmed with everything that I have going on in my own life. And so I'm saying to myself, you're telling these women to have a daily practice, but you've been slacking in your own daily practice of self-care and maintaining your mental well-being. Sometimes you have to do things like that so it can shine a light back on yourself and say, hey, okay, we got to fix some things. What do we need to do? Do we need to wake up earlier? Do we need to cut something out? What's on my plate right now? And take an evaluation of it. So I was able to look at my plate, and I know, there are some things that I'll have to take away because it's becoming overwhelming to carry. So again, very happy that I was able to do that, because it brought awareness to myself. And I'm looking at my plate right now and I'm saying, taking it away. I'm taking it away. I'm going to lessen the load, or I'm going to ask for help where needed, because I am not Superwoman. As much as I believe that I have traits and characteristics of Superwoman, I'm not Superwoman. I can only do what I'm able to do and what I have the capacity for. And self-care is also asking for help when needed. So I'm not going to get too much into self-care because you can definitely check out that podcast and let me know what you think about it. You know, what are you doing for your own self-care practice? Self-care for me is a daily practice. It's what I'm doing daily that is keeping me grounded, that benefits my physical and mental well-being. And I know I can't have a hair appointment every day. I can't, get my nails done every day or, get a facial every day. So what can I do every day? What is that daily practice? What does some of those habits look like? And so again, I pose that to the group. I'm posing that in the podcast. I'm posing this on this YouTube. So let me know what your self-care practice look like. What are you doing to make sure that you're staying grounded and at peace so that your whatever that is happening in your world, it's not raining on somebody else's parade. So if you got some negative things going on, you're not raining on someone else's parade. What are you doing to make sure that you're at peace and in a grounded space? So check out the podcast again on those platforms. Check it out. And also just stay tuned for some of the content while I was in Dallas because that was kind of a self-care trip. So stay tuned. So while I was in Dallas, I actually had the chance to go check out Clyde Park. The Dallas Museum of Art, which was really fascinating. I am at the Dallas Museum of Art, and so far it's okay. It's pretty decent, but I gotta check out some more exhibits and see. I did enjoy it. So basically, you had to pay like $20 to park, and then you got to stay there until like 9 p.m. and then you got a chance to go through the museum. So it was free to go inside. Some of the exhibits you did have to pay for, but I didn't pay for any exhibits. I just walked in the ones that was free. But it was really big. I don't know if they had 3 or 4 levels.
Why is it that you like elephants so much?
I don't know, like growing up, my mom had this huge like elephant statue like in the house, and as a kid it just seemed big to you, and then when you get older it's like, oh, this is so small. But anyway, and I think my grandmother had like fascination with elephants and cats and owls and stuff like that. And, like now I have a cat and I got an elephant tattoo, and so like most of the women in my family love elephants. So I think it's just like a maternal grandmother thing.
Alex, here at the Dallas Museum of Art. Why do you like visiting museums when you travel to new places?
That's a great question. Museums, I think they really speak to the area, and you can get a feel of it, whether it's through history and art, and you can just see like who were some of the natives in that area. So I just like to take it all in, soak it all in.
Why don't you just open up a museum one day?
No, it's not my thing.
Oh no. But you like museums and like you've worked at one.
Yes.
The next step is possibly to just have your own museum.
Well, I like to support museums, and I think sometimes you just can be a supporter and be an onlooker. I don't think you necessarily always have to be the one who's building. I would rather be the supporter of it. And so that brings up a very good point as far as like a Black museum. So what is it? A Museum of Black Experiences. I can't wait for that to open in Saginaw by Kevin Jones. So I'm ready to support his thing. Really nice museums. I like museums because, as you probably know if you've been listening to the podcast as well as on this video or on this YouTube channel, I used to work for a history museum for 6 years. So anytime I go and visit a city, I have to check out a museum. Regardless if it's history or art, I have to check it out. So I did enjoy going to their Museum of Art.
Since you're such a huge fan of museums, what is your take on museums 20 years from now?
That's a great question. I don't know. It's kind of hard.
What do you think your take would be? Do you think they'll still be around? Do you think
I think they
they
would.
would be completely different from what sent them today?
I think they'll still be around. I think there'll probably be a lot more stuff online virtually, maybe. Um, I think we'll be seeing some work regarding COVID. I think we'll be able to start seeing some of that research come out, whether that's through the art pieces or through like documentaries. So I'm looking forward to seeing that in the next 20 years.
What is your thoughts on the black headpiece at the museum about the guy getting off because he can do music?
Is he black? He was a murderer. It's giving me black vibes. You were supposed to get that on. You were supposed to ask me while we were right there. I think it's fascinating that a murderer got pardoned by the governor, and then he was able to become like this inspirational musician, where other artists were inspired by him. So I think that's kind of fascinating. Activities happening at Clyde Park, of course, because it was July 4th weekend. So a lot of families started to come out into that area. Food trucks, I mean, y'all, it was like $7 for some ice cream. I'm from Michigan. Ice cream is not $7 for a cone or whatever. But anyway, I'm not gonna lie, I did buy it.
Go on, take a bite. Get into that. Ow! Man, that.
Got to go there, walk down to the exchange, and so they had an Army National Guard band performing, but like no one was dancing, and I just could not understand. Like, it's music, get up and dance. So people were boring out there. I was trying to dance or whatever.
So it's a little bit rounder, a little more smooth, and it becomes hard the way it used to be. And it has the added benefit of only being 19 bucks. 18.90 a bottle specifically.
That's not bad. Yeah, mine is like really expensive.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Y'all good one.
We watching you.
Look at this woman.
Got to check out a few restaurants. Y'all, I ate my butt off. I went to a vegan restaurant, which was really good. It was in the Grand Prairie area. It was called It's So Vegan. I didn't get any footage of like the restaurant surrounding or like the logo or anything, but I believe it was called It's So Vegan. And I had like this cheesesteak, which was vegan, and it was so good, so freaking good. I would definitely go back if I go to that area again. So yeah, so cool stuff. Oh, I got to check out this Pan-African store. That was in South Dallas. North Dallas and South Dallas, completely two different areas. So I'm sure if you're from Dallas, you can attest to that. And at least that's what I kept hearing when I would go to restaurants, and then people would talk about North and South Dallas. But very fascinating, you know, as an outsider to see. But got to check out this Pan-African store in that area, and brother, I think his name is Nuri Muhammad. He actually was doing a speaking engagement there, which was so random because I wasn't aware that that was going to be happening. But I did get a book, and he signed it for me. So he signed one of his books. Would I go back to Dallas? For sure. I would definitely go back. I'm sure there was just more to see. You can only see so much in the little time frame that I had. So I was there for like the weekend, but I would definitely go back. Lots of things happening, of course, more than what is even here in my neighborhood. So I would definitely make that trip again at some point. Don't know when, but I would definitely go back. Let me know, if there's some other city that I need to go and check out. Like, let me know in the comments, and let me know if you've been to Dallas. What was some of your favorite stops? Because I want to hear from you, because who knows when I'll go back. And if I do, I can go check out the places that you told me to and that you recommended. So let's keep the conversation going. Be sure to follow on Facebook and Instagram at We Are Stay Dumb. Be sure to tune into the podcast on all of these platforms here, and just stay connected with me, guys. I'm so excited for what's about to come with Stay Dumb. Thanks so much, and see you soon.